Just make that noise when it's doing video.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Please let the record show that this is the deposition of Arthur Andrews in case number 17-1234, Andrews Properties, Inc. versus Mark Asher in the Eastern District of Louisiana for purposes of discovery under the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure. This deposition is pursuant to notice of deposition dated April 10th, 2017. The date and time set forth in the notice is April 18th, 2017 at 1 p.m. Present at the deposition are Becky Stevenson, counsel for the defendant, Mr. Moore, counsel for the plaintiff, and Mr. Arthur Andrews. Mr. Andrews, please state your full name and address for the record.
Arthur Andrews, 2200 Broadway Street, New Orleans, Louisiana, 70118.
Have you ever been deposed before?
No, I have not.
All right, well then I'm going to explain it to you just a little bit. Do you understand that I will be asking you a series of questions and you will be answering those questions under oath? The court reporter is going to take down everything you and I say, and for that reason, please make sure that you verbalize your answers. The court reporter cannot write it down if you shake or nod your head, so please use yes or no as appropriate.
Sure.
Do you understand that?
Yep.
Great. It is important that you answer my questions and you understand my questions and answer them accurately. If you do not understand my questions, please let me know, and I will repeat or rephrase the question. And if you answer my question, I will assume that you understood my question. Is that fair? Your attorney may object to my questions sometimes, and when that happens, you will still need to answer the question. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And you understand that you have been sworn to tell the truth. Is there any reason why you cannot answer my questions accurately or truthfully today?
No.
All right. And did you review anything to prepare for this deposition?
Just like some notes I had in my correspondences with Mr. Asher and some documents I had about the project.
Okay. And did you speak with anybody to help you prepare?
When I spoke with my attorney, I mentioned some of the stuff my wife.
Okay. All right. And how old are you, Mr. Asher? Andrews.
I will be 37 in June, so I'm 36.
Okay. And where were you born?
I was born here in New Orleans.
Have you always lived in New Orleans?
Yep.
Okay. And tell me a little bit about your education history.
Oh, it's just high school.
Just high school?
Yeah.
Okay. And what about your work history? Tell me about that.
Starting one.
Let's say, so you graduated from high school. What year did you graduate?
I forget.
Okay.
In the mid-90s.
Mid-90s. All right, so let's take it. What was your first job out of high school?
I was working at the Port of New Orleans for the first, I'd say, 4 or 5 years out of high school before I got my commercial real estate license.
All right, and then so you said 4 or 5 years. What about after that?
Commercial real estate.
Real estate. Okay. And how did you get your current job with Andrews Properties, Inc.?
Andrews Properties Inc. is an LLC that I started.
Okay. And tell me about your family. You said you're married?
Yes.
Okay. And what about immediate family? Mother, father, any siblings?
Dad passed away, mom passed away. I have a brother, but he doesn't live close.
When did your father pass away?
About 10 years ago.
All right. And what was his role? Did he have a role in Andrews Properties, Inc.?
No.
All right.
Well, I guess he had an attenuated role.
Okay. And what do you mean by that?
I inherited the property at 1000 East Main Street from him, so in life he had no role in, decision making or.
And so you inherited that property when he passed away?
Right. I mean, Andrews Properties Inc. didn't exist when he was alive, so yeah.
All right. Let's see. So you founded the LLC, and have you always had the role of president?
Yeah, I'm the only member.
Any other employees?
Nope, it's just me.
Solo venture. All right. So that you are the best. You are the person with the best knowledge of the development of the lot in question.
I'd say so.
Within Andrews Properties.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay. All right. Let's see. So tell me a little bit about what made you go into commercial real estate?
Excuse me, my dates are a little mixed up because it's 10 plus years ago since
Sure.
these things happened. I was working at the port driving a forklift. There's a pretty low glass ceiling on that type of work, so I don't know how many years into that job I inherited the property, but I had the idea of developing it, but I didn't know exactly how to. I didn't know where to begin, really. But that kind of sparked an interest in commercial real estate. I ended up getting my license, and then over the years, as I became more financially stable, as of recently, I found myself in a position where I was stable enough to take out the loan and kind of just pull the trigger on the whole development. And I've been in commercial real estate for the past couple of years, and I think I have enough experience that I could turn the property over pretty quick, I thought.
What year did you get your commercial real estate license?
Either the late 90s or early aughts, I couldn't tell you really.
All right. So with is this the first property that you've developed?
Yes.
Okay. And have you ever obtained a loan before this?
I have a mortgage on my house, but that's it.
And the lot in question, you said your father owned this lot
Yes.
and you inherited it. What was going on at the lot before you decided to develop it?
Nothing.
Nothing. It was just a vacant lot.
Yeah, truthfully, I didn't know he owned it till he passed away. But I'd known the lot existed for a long time. I don't know starting when, but my high school was close to the lot. I passed by a whole bunch. I've known that lot to be vacant for many, many years.
All right. So let's see. If you don't mind, let's try to do a little bit of math here. So it's 2017 now. You're 37, which means you were born in 1980. Okay,
Right.
and then you graduate high school at 18. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So that would have been 1998.
Probably. I
Okay.
wasn't the best student, so that might be a little later than that.
All right, that's fine. Let's see. All right, so you said you have a mortgage on your home, and your home is the address on Broadway that you gave earlier.
Yes.
All right. Let's see. So tell me about, you said we were talking about what had been going on at the lot before you decided to develop it. You said it did sit vacant for many years. Talk me through the chronology of how and what you decided to do at the lot. What was the process for beginning to develop it?
So the area, as I saw it, had become, let's call it hot for commercial real estate purposes.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw an opportunity to put a structure on the lot that I could lease pretty quickly and for a reasonable amount. I mean, market-wise, on the higher end of things.
Just checking for technical support here. The light is on, so I think we're okay.
Okay, cool.
All right. And what was the first? So you recognized that the lot was in a great neighborhood, and what was your first step to develop it? Did you have to get a permit?
Well, the first step was to speak with the construction company.
Okay.
To talk planning, prices, and all
And
that.
which company was that?
City construction.
City Construction. Okay. So you spoke with City Construction about developing it. What happened after that?
Got the loan. Took a loan from Valley Bank.
Valley Bank. Do you know about what time or what year roughly this was going on?
Well, this was in March of 2016.
March of 16.
Mid to late March. The dates are a little foggy.
Okay. And so we've got the construction company, we've got the loan in place. What happens next?
before we could begin, well, so I got plans from the construction company.
Okay. And what kind of plans?
Just the size of the structure, where the parking lot was going to go, and so on. But before we could do anything physical on the property, we had to excavate the basement, and that I contracted out. I found someone locally.
And who was that for
Mr.
record?
Asher.
Okay. How did you find Mr. Asher?
I guess through a mutual friend.
Okay.
I'll call it a buddy of mine who worked for the board. Mentioned that I was gonna develop the lot, and he said he knew somebody who ran a small operation and could do it on the cheap. Sounded good.
All right. And have you ever executed a contract as in your role as president of Andrews Properties?
Before this?
Sure, before this.
No. I mean, the LLC is really the only purpose it served is this venture here. Though it's existed for a while, it's not ever used it for anything.
All right. And is this the first time you have contracted out work in your role as a president?
Maybe contracted out is the wrong way to describe it. I didn't have city construction do. I was outside their role, and without consulting them, I found somebody I thought could do it, cheap.
Okay. And the mutual friend, could you give us his name and maybe what? I'm sorry. Go ahead and give us his name.
It's Frank Smith.
Frank Smith. And what did Frank tell you about Mr. Asher's business?
He had. I mean, I'm not too keen to the technical side, like what he called the machinery and all that, but he had a few pieces of machinery, not a whole lot, nothing too heavy, and it was like a single man operation that he could come in and, depending on the size of the job, he could come in and just do it by himself. Just because of the limited nature of his resources, he said that's he would do it for not that much money.
Okay. What else was said
In regards
between you and Mr. Smith?
That's about it. It was really passing.
Okay. All right. So now you've reached out to City Construction. You have gotten the loan from Valley Bank, and you have gotten Mr. Asher's name. What happened after that?
I contacted Mr. Asher.
Okay.
I sent him the sketches the city gave me. We talked about the nature of the job, the timeline that I needed it done within, and we were talking prices. And I asked him to take a look at the property. He said that after taking a look, he described it as a routine gig.
Okay.
And that he committed to the price we talked about and the deadline we talked about as well.
And what you say he committed to it? What was the form of this agreement?
It was over the course of a couple of telephone calls.
Telephone calls.
Maybe an email here or there.
Is there anything else that would remind you of exactly how it went down?
I'm sure there's telephone memos somewhere. I mean, I took some of my own notes. I don't know if I have them with me, but I probably went over them before. I spoke to my attorney. That was a little while ago.
Okay. Was there anything else you told Mr. Asher before accepting his bid?
I told him what I knew about the property.
And what was that?
That as long as I had known it to exist, it has never had anything on it.
Okay. All right. I'd like to go back to the loan that you took out with Valley Bank. So we said that was around March of 2016.
Correct.
Okay. And you've kind of dealt with other financial transactions in a mortgage and whatnot. Do you recall how much the loan was for?
$200,000.
Okay. And standard procedure for a loan, I'm sure they do a credit check. They, make sure that the the site is good, there's a title search, and you sign the agreement, and you get the money. Did it all work out like that?
Yeah. They gave me a big thing of papers to thumb through, and upon thumbing through them, I signed them.
All right. So I'd like to introduce as Exhibit 1 the acknowledgement of the receipt of the loan file. I'm going to hand it to the opposing counsel. Have them take a look at that. And so could you tell me what this document is?
It's just that it is acknowledging that I looked at my loan file.
Okay, and is that your signature on the line? Okay. And does it look any different than the last time you reviewed it?
This individual piece of paper?
Yes.
No.
Any alterations or anything?
No.
Okay. All right. So we've got a signature that says you were given and had the opportunity to review the loan file and you were familiar with it. And so that would lead me to the second piece of information I would like to introduce. Second exhibit I'd like to introduce. Just a second. And this would be what I would like to introduce as Exhibit 2, showing it to opposing counsel. And does this document look familiar?
Vaguely.
Okay. Could you tell me what the document is?
It's a title search report.
Okay. And so this document came from the packet of loan information from Valley Bank. Could you tell me what the title search says? Specifically, let's take a look at number 1. Let's start with 1.
Okay. That it was owned by my father.
Okay. And when was it? It was owned until when?
June 1st, 2001.
Was that when he passed away?
Okay, I can tell you the exact date, but it was around then.
Okay. And then take a look at number 3. And what's number 3 saying there?
The gas station was demolished in February of 1994. The gas station on that parcel.
Okay. All right. And just to go back, which high school did you go to?
Number 2.
All right. And the address of the lot that you're developing right now is what is the address of the lot you're developing?
1000 East Main Street.
And number 2, your high school was how far away was your high school from the lot?
It's 4000 East Main Street.
Okay. So we're talking just a couple blocks on the same street. All right. And you did pass by it when you were in high school.
Correct.
Which would have been around, if you graduated in 1998, that's roughly
around the same time.
Around the same time. Okay. So this, let's see. And so your initial conversation with Mr. Asher, you said that you told him you didn't know there was a gas station.
I didn't know.
On the lot. All right. So have you told me everything you know or you recall about your initial conversation with Mr. Asher?
Yes.
Right. Okay. All right. So now going back to our chronology, we've talked to the city construction, we've talked to the loan, we've talked to Mr. Asher. So what kind of negotiations happened before you accepted Mr. Asher's bid?
In terms of price?
We'll say, price, and then after that, you can tell me about your timeline for getting the work done.
We landed on $12,000 to excavate and $5,000 to haul the stuff away.
And you thought that was a fairly reasonable
I thought so.
amount, all right. And let's see, when did you need the work done by?
The 15th of May.
And what was significant about having it done by that time?
The city was supposed to start construction the day after.
So you had already entered into a contract with city to
Yes.
begin. All right, and how? When did Mr. Asher begin work for you?
We agreed. We hammered down the terms of our contract.
We've got price, we've got timeline.
This was all, I'd call it finalized in early April.
All right.
I don't know how long he was working.
Okay. So tell me about what happened after you both agreed on the time, you agreed on the price. Just tell me what happened with his work.
He contacted me in mid-May, around the time it was supposed to be done, and told me that, or he informed me that, these complications would prevent him from finishing. He found tanks and concrete slabs and all kinds of stuff.
What did he attribute those tanks and concrete slabs to?
A gas station. I don't know if he said there was a gas station here, but he said there was evidence of, or remnants of a gas station or some other structure that used to be on the property.
All right, and so he told you that those things existed?
Yeah.
What happened after that?
I said, you still have to finish. We had agreed for him to be done. I think either on or a day before the date that he contacted me to tell me he had only done half of the project. I told him that he was obligated to finish it. He couldn't do it himself. He had to find somebody else, and those were our terms, and he had to stick to them.
And so was he able to finish the work?
No.
And is there anything did he give you any particular excuse for why he was unable to finish the work other than running into these remnants?
Well, he said that with his limited equipment that he couldn't finish the job, and he got somebody to confirm that a buddy of his said he couldn't do it with whatever he had. And
do you happen to know that buddy's name?
no, I didn't ask him to do that.
Okay.
It was immaterial to me whether or not he was right. The point was that I asked him to take a look at the property to get his professional opinion on whether or not it could be done in the allotted time.
Mm-hmm.
He said it could be done with his equipment. He called me to tell me that he couldn't do it, and then I told him that he had to finish it. And that was, whether or not his equipment was lacking or whatever, he had to finish, and he didn't.
He didn't. Okay. So what did you have to do? I'm sorry. Let's scratch that. Let's back up. So he told you he was unable to finish. What did you hear from him after that point?
He sent me a bill.
He sent you a bill for half of the amount. And did you pay that bill?
No.
So what did you have to do after he said he was unable to complete the work?
Well, I had to finish excavation, and that was an issue because a part of my contract with the city stipulated that there was a late fee attached to every day that they couldn't begin work on the specific date that we agreed on.
Okay.
So, I was in a hurry to finish, so I didn't have to pay them an arm and a leg while I sat around doing nothing.
Sure.
So I let them know what was happening, and they made a somebody with the equipment to get the job done.
Okay.
So it was presumably heavier equipment than Mr. Asher had.
All right. And what was the name of the company you ended up contracting with?
Henderson.
And so this is presumably the second time you've had to go through the process with finding a contractor and agreeing on price and agreeing on time. What were the differences between your contract with Mr. Asher and your contract with Henderson?
It was astronomically more compared to what I had arranged with Mr. Asher originally. It was $23,000, just do the half that Asher hadn't done.
All right. Did you reach out to them, or did City Construction?
City made that connection.
Okay. And let's see. Did you all execute any kind of written agreement for the work to be done?
Probably. I mean, it might have been just a telephone call situation. I bet it might have been a written contract as well. Things are moving pretty fast at that point.
All right. And did they complete the work?
Yes.
Were you satisfied with their work?
Yeah, I mean, the city they started construction after Henderson finished.
All right. And where did you pay Henderson?
Yes.
For their work? All right. Let's see. All right. So please tell me what you are. Tell me about what kind of damage you've suffered. Specifically, what kind of remedy you need to be able to move forward.
So, I mean, Asher didn't. He didn't do what he was, I'd say, contractually obligated to do, and because of that, because of his breach, I had to pay the city $100 a day for many days. I think it came out to be, I think at the end of it was $8,000 on top of whatever I owed them, and then I had to pay Henderson. I call it a rush fee just because I needed it done in a hurry, and they had I guess the equipment to do the job. But I feel like if I approached them earlier on and had time to negotiate, I could have gotten the price down, even knowing that there were concrete slabs and tanks in the ground. And also, the whole permitting and just getting the property ready to lease. I think it sent me back like 2 or 3 months. I wanted to begin finding tenants in August, maybe September, and I didn't get somebody inside the building until November.
Okay. Did you, going back to your initial decision to develop the property, did you solicit any other bids other than the one from Mark Asher?
No.
And so with the $17,000 and you already had a contract in place with City Construction, that his time frame and his cost were reasonable to get that done. And how did you come about determining that was a good price?
The appropriateness of the cost. I mean, truthfully, I've been flying by the seat of my pants for most of this. This is a new thing for me. I guess the early development kind of construction phase of this. I know Frank, who recommended him, so I felt like I was getting some type of friend price through him, and just the size of his operation, I felt was reflected the value I was getting. I didn't need it. If the job was how I thought it was originally, I didn't need Henderson to come in. I need to pay. I figured it would cost more to have multiple guys and many different pieces of machinery to do what amounted to simple excavation.
Thank you. I have no more questions. I appreciate your